Okay, so far we have covered the decision-making statements up to this moment. Else if ladder and nested if and all these things have been completed. And today we would like to consider the operations on strings, complete operation on strings, how strings are being gets operated, and what are the different kinds of methods, string module methods, which are used to operate on strings. Everything will be to look into the matter today, and we'll finish off these operations, string operations today. And tomorrow we'll go for repetitive structures, otherwise iterative structures by tomorrow. Okay. So these are the points which we would like to concentrate today. So only string operations. Okay, let us see these string operations here. So string operations will be, normally a string will be considered as a series of contiguous characters which are delimited by using single quotes or double quotes. Already we have seen this definition in the previous sessions. So a series of contiguous in the sense, so it may be taken a series of characters which are being taken in single quotes or double quotes will be considered as a string here. And so Python does not have any separate data type for character, as like as in your C or C++. If you want to declare a particular character, you have a data type that is char in C or C++. We don't have such kind of data type in Python here. So therefore, whatever the thing you have been represented or delimited with single quotes or double quotes will be considered as the string here, and the string will be always taken as string single character string here. For example, let me open this one for you. Yeah, so look at this. A will be equal to, within double quotes, A, B, C, for example. So let me take this one. Type of A here. Type of A will be a string. It is a class string here. Okay. Similarly, B will be equal to, let us consider, we would like to consider B will be equal to, let me say, that is only capital Z as the character. Now, so type of this particular B would also be a string. So therefore, it will be considered as, it is considered as a single character string, and it is a sequential of characters as a string here. So these are the 2 points which we need to consider while discussing something about the strings here. Then how could you create a string? Already we have seen. It is a string and it is a character string. Already we have seen. And there are two other more kind of operations. Here. Something like some A will be equal to ABC just before we have created, that is considered as a string. And some B will be equal to just Z, capital Z, will be also considered as a single character string. There are other ways to be created of these strings here. Number one, some particular variable is equal to str. It will be always creates an empty string. Which will be occupy some space in memory and doesn't have anything here. For example, as per this particular statement, the location name will be, so name 1 here, it is name 1, and address will be 703540, something like this, and it doesn't have anything. It is null. Okay, so if you take something like this, it is null. Similarly, if you pass any parameter over here, something like this, then it may be create a string object which containing the new string. Okay, the new string in the sense I have entered here as a new string. So you may be create a null string or empty string by using strf. Otherwise, you may be pass a parameter to strf so that this the new string value is being assigned to this particular variable name2. Okay, these are the four ways to be created the strings here. Most probably people are interested to create the string something like this only. Something like this only. People are very much interested to create so a string here. And one more point to be created for a string is if you take any input. Already we have discussed regarding to input in the previous classes. Even then, I'm trying to recall you regarding to input here. Any variable, some x will be equal to so input of. If you take this particular input of method, obviously it could be gives you or it could be take some input from the standard input device that is keyboard, and whatever the data you have entered, whether it may be characters or it may be digits or it may be special characters, whatever the data you may be give as input, that input will be converted as a string and can be stored into X here. This is one more way to create a string here. Okay, in this way you could able to create a string. First one is directly assigns some value within double quotes as a string. Second thing is single character will be assigned to some other variable. Third one is some other variable equal to str without any parameter. And fourth one will be name2 or otherwise any variable equal to str of some parameter, whatever the string you wanted to place over there, that could be. And fifth one is equal to, so any variable will be equal to input of without masking anything, without casting anything, either integer or float or any other thing will not be placed here, then that will be considered as a string here. These are the 5 ways to be created in a string. Okay, so let us see what exactly the points will be. Some x will be equal to name 1 will be equal to str of. So it has been created one empty string. Okay, name 1. For example, if you want to display that one, you could see name 1, which does nothing. So it is empty string. And name 2, for example, name 2 will be equal to, so str of something. You could place your own data. So Newton Institute of Engineering. Okay, for example, if I would like to place this one, obviously you could have that one name 2. You could say Newton's Institute of Engineering. So this is the data which we have to place here. Here it is created empty string and an object which is being created as this particular string. Okay, these are the 2 different types of ways to be created. And one more point will be some x will be equal to, so input of. Okay, input of, it may be ask you some input here. You could enter some kind of input. Let me say NGI, Newton's group of institutions. If I would press enter, yes, x will be taken some one more string, that is the specification here. So here you could able to create by assigning string. You could able to create by assigning a character. You could able to create a null string, something like this. You could able to create by giving some parameters to string, and then you could able to create so by taking as input from the keyboard. Either of these 5 ways you can create your string. Okay, so these are the 5 ways to be created your string here. Next point, it is a string is immutable. Immutable, what does it means? Already we have discussed in the previous sessions what is immutable. Already we have discussed. Immutable in the sense, once you have created any string, let me close this one for a while, because we have created many strings here. For better understanding point of view, let me open a new session for you. So look at this. Some S1, string 1 is equal to, for example, welcome. Welcome is the string 1. S2 will be equal to, so welcome again. Same kind of string will be taken into consideration here. So as soon as welcome has been created by you, S1 will be assigned to welcome in the sense. So it could be create a location. It could be create a location. Here it has been stored welcome, and the name will be, so S1, I think it is S1, and having some kind of So address 7570 something blah 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 some value, and you have created one more variable as S2 with the same name, same value. So therefore, same location will be identified by S2 also. So what does it means? Once you have created any kind of data for string, it could not be modified. It could not be modified. If S1 will be changed from welcome to some other, it will be create one more kind of item will be named as S1 and can be taken some other address 850 something something like this. It could be having some other value here, but whatever the value which have been created previously, that could not be destroyed, that could not be changed on behalf of S1. That is the point which we like to consider here. Look at the specification. ID of S1 to display the address of, ID of S1 to display the address of S1 here, 63401504. Similarly, ID of S2, let me take S2 also. Same location will be shared by two different things. Let me change the value of S1 here. S1 will be equal to 2 Newton. Okay, 2 Newton. I'm trying to specify that 2 Newton is another string which has been allocated to or created to S1. Now, so try to identify the address of S1 here. So look at this, the address has been changed. Okay, once you have created any string, so that could not be overwritten. That could not be overwritten. The same kind of string will be taken by some other variable, directly that variable will be point the same location. So that is why strings, simply speaking, whatever the variable, whatever the scalar variable you have created here, all scalar variables are immutable. All scalar variables are immutable. You could not change that particular value within that location. So that is why strings are immutable. So once you have created this string, they cannot be modified. Modified in the sense they cannot be in that place, you could not place any other value. And what are the operations on strings? So normally strings must be, if you take any string, the string must be, index of that particular string must be always starts with 0. Always starts with 0. So the first character will be stored at str of otherwise whatever the value you have taken. I'm considering about this particular name here. So name of 0, name of 1, name of 2, and so on and so forth. Let us see the example here. So here S2, if you consider this particular S2 does have welcome, WELCOME. So S2 of 0 is W, S2 of 1 will be 1, E, S2 of 2 will be L, and so on and so forth. Let us see. S2 of 0 will be W, and S2 of 1 will be E, and so on and so forth. And S2 of 2 will be and so on. And last character -1. Actually, the length will be 6 minus 1, that is 4, 5, 0 to 5 number of characters will be stored here. In this way, you could operate some particular operations here. And these operations will be also taken into consideration with appending of operations or concatenation of strings. And second one is a repetition of strings. Okay, let us consider here. I'd like to add some more extra data to S1 here. So how could you add here in the sense S1 plus. So let me say, so welcome to NGI, simply speaking. NGI. Okay, simply speaking. So welcome to Newton. What is I'm sorry, S2, I think S2 will be equal to S2 plus so to NGI. Okay, NGI. Now you can display the value of S2. Welcome to NGI. The value has been changed. In this way, you can concatenate the values by using this plus operator here. And if you want to display so-called value for number of times, so S2 into some 5 times, for example. So same kind of value could be displayed for number of times. Welcome to NGI, welcome to NGI, and so on and so forth. Already we have seen these points here because we are discussing regarding to strings. So I am repeating the same concept one more time because cumulatively everything will be at once. Okay. Now, how the strings are being sliced, otherwise displaying substrings. Already we have seen this particular point. Normally, if any string is being created, then automatically it will be stored in a contiguous memory location, something like this. So location 1, location 2, location 3, and so on and so forth like this. Everything will be stored in such a form here. So this will be identified as 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Conversely, it is being identified as -1. It is being identified as -1. This is -2, -3, and so on and so forth. Likewise, it is being identified. So therefore, based on the indices values, we can slice this string. We can obtain the substrings here. How those could be. Slicing could be always happen, or slicing could be always taken into consideration by one operator, that is the open bracket and the closed bracket, something like this. Okay, something like this. You could see something like this. So let me consider S2. What is the value of S2? Let me display here. S2 will be equal to welcome to NGI. So let me display right away from the 0th location to some 6th location. So how could you specify here in the sense? Before going to take that one, what is the length of this one? Of course, I'll give you the length, the functions in future. Probably after a couple of minutes, I'll give you. Length of S2 will be 14 characters actually. So therefore, slicing will be happen right away from the 0 to 14 minus 1, that is 13. Okay, 0 to 14 minus 1, that is 13. So string variable S2 of starting colon ending. Like this you have to operate. This is the actual syntax actually. This is the actual syntax. And using this particular syntax, starting will be always 0 actually. And ending will be, for example, you have given some 14, ending -1 characters, it is going to be displayed. Okay, however, let us see right away from 0 to some 5 characters, how it is going to display here in the sense, right away from 0th location to, or 0th index to, so 5 minus 1, that is 4. Let us calculate, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you could get up to WELCO, that is the output of this particular slice. WELCO is the output of this particular slice. Okay, you can see the points here. So this could be, syntax will be taken str of start and end. Okay, start must be always string must be, part of a string must be displayed right away from the start to end -1 of that particular 2 indices here. And these are not compulsory. These are optional also. These are also optional. You may not be given. How you could say this is optional here in the sense? Let me specify S2 here. Let me specify S2 here. S2 here. It could be display complete information. Whatever the string which has been processed by that particular location, it could be displayed. Okay, it could be displayed. Not necessarily specify the start and end position of that slicing operator. Okay, not exactly specified that particular operation over there. So therefore, they are optional. Okay, by default, the start index must be always 0. Always it must be equal to 0. Okay, then I have given some kind of slice operations here. Already I shown you. So what does it means? So let us consider, if you omit the first, start slice operation, S2 of For example, S2 of some 10 will be given, colon 10 will be given, colon 10 will be given. So right away from starting position 0 to 9, the location, indices locations will be gets displayed. Indices location 0 to 9 will be gets displayed. And if you specify something like this, S2 of colon, so close the brace, it is almost all equal to S2. Both are same. Okay, both are same. So in this way, you can slice the particular string as far as your concern point of view. So I'd like to display, for example, one more example for you. I'd like to display some fifth location to 12th location. I'd like to, 11th location. I'd like to display this particular thing. Yes, you can. Okay, like this, you can slice the string like anything here. Okay, you can slice them like anything. And there are two different types of what do you call functions or methods are available: ORD and CHR. ORD always will be taken single character as input and will be displaced an integer as output. For example, ORD so of some 97 will be given. So sorry, ORD will be always taken character as input. ORD so of so small a can be taken, so you could get the output as 97 because ASCII equivalent value of small a will be equal to 97. Similarly, CHR will be always taken, so number integer as input, that is 97 will be given to you to CHR. It will be displays you some small a here. Okay, these are the 2 points which we'd like to consider here. ORD will always returns ASCII code for the character. Okay, in ASCII chart, 255 ASCII characters are there. So whatever the ASCII character, printable ASCII character you can consider, that could be displayed. And the CHR will be returns. So ASCII number will be given as input. So ASCII character will be displayed here. So finally, you need to understand ORD will be taken, so character as input and provides a number, and the CHR will be taken number as input and provides a character. So let us see here. Let me make some small, because you people could not identify where exactly the data will be. Yes, you can see here. Right now, it could be easy to identify. So now ORD of let me say small a, otherwise capital A. Capital A is 65 actually. You could see. If you are trying to ORD of so for example, ABC will be gets provided, then it could be provide some error message. It is always expecting single character as input, but you have provided 3 characters as input here. So that is so the error message will be automatically generated to here. Okay, so ORD is expected a character as input, but you have been provided a string of length 3 characters have been found. Okay, so such kind of error message will be always comes to you in terms of ORD. Similarly, CHR is another kind of character, string method. So CHR is always expecting a number. Let me say some 78 will be provided by me. Equivalent value could be taken. So well-known kind of characters will be 65, which is capital A. It is well known to us. 97, CHR of 97, which is also well known to us. That is small a. Okay, these are the 2 methods, string methods, which could be provided. So ASCII equivalent value and character equivalent value as well for the given ASCII numbers. Okay, then followed by in and not in operators. We haven't discussed in the previous sessions as far as operators are being discussed in the point of view. So now we would like to discuss. So in and not in, these 2 will be provided Boolean values as output. They will be taken So they will be taken some characters as input or strings as input, but provide some Boolean values as output here. Okay, you can use in and out in something like this. Existence of the string will be in another string will be taken into consideration. Okay, these are also called as membership operators. Also called as membership operators. So let us consider this how these things will be gets executed here. Let me take S2 here again. So welcome to NGA. Whether WEL is existed within S2 or not, let me identify. So whether WEL is existed within, or otherwise NGI is existed with S2 or not. So NGI is what is that in S2. The question is whether NGI is in S2. Yes, it is true. Yes, it is existed. If you take so NIE, for example, NIE in S2, whether it is existed, no, such kind of NIE kind of things are not available. Okay, whether 2 is existed in S2, yes, it is. Okay, whether not in the sense whether NIE is not in so S2, yes, really it is not existed. So that is why it is true. Okay, like this, it could be written either true or false. It could be written either true or false based on the existence of a string, applied string in the so given actual string. Okay, in and not in operators. Then followed by string comparison. String comparison will be always done based on the ASCII equivalent values. For example, so A will be equal to so ABC, capital ABC will be there with me. Some B will be equal to small ABC will be there with me here. So small ABC will be there with me. Capital ABC, always capital letters ASCII equivalent values are always lesser value than this particular lowercase letters. This will be starts with 65 to 92, and these will be 97 to 122. Always these are greater ASCII values when compared to capital letters. Therefore, comparisons will be always done based on the ASCII equivalent values. Please remember ASCII equivalent values. For example, so some Z will be equal to like this, A, B, C will be there with me, and Y will be equal to so capital A, capital B, and a small c is there with me, for example. Now here, if I would like to compare something like this, is Z is less than Y? Shall I compare something like this in the sense, first of all, capital A, here also capital A. So that is 65 is less than 65. It is not true. Okay, otherwise less than or equal to, for example. Yes, it is. It is okay. But this one, so this one, 66 and 66, these two are also okay. But it is capital C, this is 67, but small c in the sense 99. This value is very much greater than this particular value. So finally it could be gives you so false. It could be gives you that is true. Less than, we have operated less than, that is true. Sorry, that is true. Okay, it could be gives you something like this. So however, string comparison will be always done based on the ASCII equivalent values. Every character will be compared based on the ASCII equivalent values. Then it could be find whether which is greater, which is less than, or which is equivalent value. It could be done something in such a way. Okay, so look at this. You could operate so like this: less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to. All those things could be gets operated here. Always it could be done lexicographically. Lexicographically in the sense increasing order. Okay, in terms of mathematics, lexographic order in the sense, so A, B, C, D, E, and so on. This order is called as lexographic order. Okay, if you consider dictionary, in dictionary, if you want to check for one particular word's meaning, how you can search out there? Abandon. You would like to search for meaning for ABANDON, abandon. So then you have to, so immediately you will turn off your pages up to AB. After that, ABON. So you will go for ON, something like this. So in this way, you have to check into the dictionary. This kind of search operation is called as a lexographic order. That is called as a lexographic order. So every character will be checked with the equivalent ASCII character value. If they will be satisfied, then it will be true. Otherwise, not satisfied, it will be written false. Okay, let me give you whatever the example I have given just before. So let me say Z will be, some Y will be equal to capital A, B, C. Y will be equal to capital A, B, C. Z will be equal to A, B, small c. Okay, C will be small. Okay, let us take this one. Sorry, equal symbol has been missed here. So that is the syntax error has been occurred. I'm sorry for this. Okay. Okay, now X will be, what is that? Y will be this value, Z will be this value. Now, does, so Y is greater than Z? No, it is not. So here, these two are okay, but this value, capital C value, does not greater than small c value as far as ASCII is concerned. It is, so 65, 66, 67, this is 99. 67 is always so not greater than 97, so that you got false here. That is the point. Where where what does y is less than z? Yes, it is true, because 67 is less than 99. Yes, it is true. So therefore, it could be gives you in such a way. In that way, you could search for the characters, compare the strings in that way in lexographic order. Okay, you please remember this particular lexographic order here. Okay. Now, different kinds of string methods. Many methods are available here. All methods, let me discuss with you today. So general functions, first one is length of, already we have seen. Second one is maximum. So what do you mean by maximum here? In the sense here also, it could be able to consider, so ASCII value. Okay, highest max ASCII value, maximum of any string, whatever the highest ASCII value you could consider, that particular character will be displayed. Minimum in the sense, similarly. So let me take an example here again, S2. Let me take S2 here. So here, what is the maximum value? Probably N is W is the maximum ASCII value here. Okay, W is the maximum ASCII value here. So maximum of, let me operate, maximum of S2 will be, so W. W does have a maximum ASCII value, whereas if you consider A, B, C, C will be the minimum, so that the minimum of S2 will be gives you, okay, space also be there, sorry, space also be there, so space is minimum value when compared to C, so space will becomes before C only, so space is the minimum value. In that way, you could get a maximum character and a minimum character within a string. Okay, these are general functions or general methods which could be operate on strings. Whereas testing for strings, whether it is alphanumeric, or whether it is for the only alphabetic, or it is a digit, or it is an identifier. We have 32 identifiers, 33 identifiers are there with us. So, or it is identifiers, or it is lowercase, or it is uppercase, or it is a space. So we have to identify each and every point here. So alpha number in the sense, let me take some A will be equal to, so A 1, 2, 3. This is the combination of alphabetic and numbers also. So print, what is our function? Is all, AL, NUM. Is AL, so NUM of A. It is really alphanumeric. Is AL, NUM. I'm sorry. I'm extremely sorry. This is not the way to operate here. Extremely sorry. This is not the way to operate here. So print It is a method actually, print. So a dot is al, so num, okay, is it okay? Yes, it is true. I'm sorry, sorry for this particular error message here. A dot string dot, all these methods must be get separated except this general, except these three. All these things will be gets operated as so as a method which could be taken. So module method which could be taken from the string here. This is actually string. So we are checking that whether it is alphanumeric. So since it has been taken, it has been combination of the alphabetic values and numbers so that it could be written true. So is alpha, is alpha? No, it is not actually is alpha here. So let us consider ALPHA. Actually, it is a combination of characters and numbers so that it could be false here. Okay, let me take some b will be equal to, I have an operator with me just before we have seen. So in is one particular operator which is available with me, where in is a keyword, in is a reserved word, right? In is a reserved word. What is my, so operator here is identifier. So print b dot is identifier. Does it identifier? Yes, it is true, because in is an identifier actually. So that is why, because of this particular in is an identifier, it has been identified something like that, and it could be written as true. Okay. So let me say some C will be equal to, for example, C will be equal to, so A, B, C, something like this, all capital letters. Let me identify print whether C dot, so is lower, all these characters which have been operated by us are lower, is lower, false, because all those characters are true, capital letters. In this way, you have been operated something like this. Please check about remaining all other test strings here. Okay, they may be always written only true or falses. They may be always written only true or falses, whether it is satisfied true, unsatisfactory false. So that is why these methods will be comes under so testing strings category. Then followed by so substrings. Substrings in the sense whether really ends with so and so string. It could be written as a Boolean value. Really starts with so and so string. So also written as Boolean value. So how many number of so how many occurrences of this particular substring will be there within the given string? It could be written the number, and find whether the specific string is being existed or not within the specific string, main string. If it is existed, the first and foremost index value could be displayed. Otherwise, it could be displayed -1 or -1. And R find in the sense highest index value from where the particular character, it is a character actually, it could be either character or string. It could be either a single character or a string, both will be okay. But here it could be always a character here. Let me show you. Let me show you how the things will be gets happen here. Let me take S2 back again. Welcome to NCI. Okay. So S2 dot print S2 dot, what is that, find. So I'd like to take one particular parameter. That parameter will be wo. Okay. So where it is existed at fourth location, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth location, wo will be there. Whereas if you take same kind of operation in terms of R find, it could be returns R find, it could be returns the index value of this one, not exactly this one, this one. This index value is going to be displayed for you. You could see at 9th location, so wo will be existed. After 9, you could not have any woes. Okay, that is the meaning of this one here. And then whether print whether S2 is really starts with WEL, whether it is being starts with WEL. Yes, it is true. Okay. And similarly, S2 will be really ends with what is our character NGI, ends with NGI. Yes, it is true. Or ends with some other thing. Let me say ends with, for example, NIE. No, it is false. It is not ends with NIE. Something like this, it could be. Then also you could count S2 of, so count how many times, what is the WLCOME? So how many times E will be gets existed here? How many times E will be gets existed within that particular string here? For twice. WEL, so WE first one and the second one. For twice it has been available. Okay, something like this. Substrings will be set in such a way. If it is, for example, things will not be existed. So, for example, let me take the find one more time because so find. Let me take some Z, or X, whatever it may be. X is not really available with S2, so therefore it could be written -1, not available. Okay, it could be -1. And now this all these things will becomes under the substrings, searching for substrings. Whereas if you consider this one, converting strings, okay, string will be converted to some other form. So look at this. So capitalize. What do you mean by capitalize? For every line, if you consider in English, for every line, first character must be in capital letters and remaining everything will be in lowercase letters unless any names will be there with you. Okay. Look at this. Print. Actually, S2 will be seems like this. Welcome to NGI. W is small letter only. So print. So S2 dot capitalize 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 of. So let us look about this one. So it has been changed to so capital W. Okay, something like this. And then here you can see title case in the sense for every word, so capitalize will be taken into consideration. So how this could be, look at into this particular thing. So title instead of this one, title. So welcome W capital to T capital NGI N capital. Okay. So you please check the remaining all other things here. So in this way, you could convert these strings. Okay, I'll send this particular document to you again. So through Google Classrooms, you can check it out. You can specify the strings in such a way. Okay, all these are cumulatively called as strings, and strings comparison, string methods, and everything is gets over. Okay.